Hello everyone, this is Fred DeBerg with Spotlight Dance Arts Online, and this is another episode of Fred Talk in the Spotlight. Today I'm going to be interviewing Jennifer Jarriel. Jennifer is also known as the Coronado Salsa chick. Jennifer, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure. Well, the reason that I know all about this salsa is one of the things we have in common is we sing at the Shadow Mountain Community Church Choir. And during COVID, we were having these raffles, and he would regularly give away salsa and a CD.
Right.
And I never got the chance to get salsa and a CD, but everybody raves about it. And Tobin Davis, our director, he cannot get enough of your salsa.
No.
Let me ask you this. What was your inspiration to start a business called Coronado Salsa Chick?
It's actually a recipe my mother gave me.
Oh.
And I just made it here and there for friends that was coming over. Lynette had some, said it was the greatest that she had ever had, and thought maybe you could do it, selling it locally or whatnot. So I gave it to another friend of mine at the gym, and she was having a fundraiser for her tennis team.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
asked me if I would be willing to make some salsa to sell it as a fundraiser. And I did, and every bit of what I made sold out, and people kept coming and asking for more. So I talked to Chad, my husband, and said, "This is what's going on. Do you think we could start something here?" He was all for it.
Yeah.
So it just blossomed from there.
That is awesome. Now, Chad is also part of the choir.
He is.
Isn't he a bass?
He is, yes.
He is a bass.
Yes.
Now, Chad is also in the military, correct?
He's in the Navy.
He's in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
How long has he been in the Navy so far?
It'll be 20 years in October.
20 years. 20 years. Now, and before we talked a little bit about how long you've been married. So it's been 19 years?
19 years.
19 years.
Yeah.
And you have 4 kids.
4 kids, yeah.
They keep you busy, huh?
Definitely. Never
Now, some of your kids are grown now.
They are. My kids' age range from 29 to 9.
Oh my goodness. My goodness, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So, so you mentioned that this is your mother's recipe.
Yes.
How's the business going?
Better than I ever assumed it would. I honestly didn't think it would take off as much as it did. Every month when I just post something locally in Coronado, I get floods of people just responding and wanting more, and people have taken it as birthday give-outs and parting gifts for their birthday parties, and it's been wonderful. I'm so in awe, I guess.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Well, this interview is meant to let people get a chance to know you.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you been going to Shadow Mountain Community Church?
Shortly after we moved here in June of 2007, my mother-in-law had told Chad about Dr. Jeremiah, that they watch him on Turning Point back home in Georgia, and
he's very famous.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sadly, I had not ever heard of him, so we thought, sure, why not? And brought our kids out here, and they love the kid program. And we just fell in love with the church, and shortly after we joined the church, joined the choir, and we've been here ever since. It's been amazing.
Wow. Well, you've had quite a journey in the last few years. Mm-hmm. With a few challenges. Mm-hmm. And I'd love for you to share your testimony on what had happened to you and how it happened, how you found out about it. Because it was lung cancer, mm-hmm. correct?
It was.
Can you tell a little bit about that story?
Mm-hmm. I had a cough that would not go away. It was just a persistent cough. Not one to go to the doctor too often. I let it linger for a while, and finally went to the doctor. They diagnosed it as pneumonia. Gave me some medicine. It got a little bit better, but the cough never fully went away. After a while, it got back to being a persistent cough. So I went back to the doctor. They did another chest x-ray, and the radiologist called me later that day, and he's the one that told me, I think you have cancer. The images are exactly the same. I have a pulmonologist at the hospital waiting if you can get there now. So I went to the pulmonologist, and he actually wanted me to wait 6 months to do another scan. But I told him I wasn't going to wait. I wanted to fix it.
You wanted to know.
Yeah. And so I went through all the proceedings, the CT scans, the PET scans, the biopsies, and found out it was a malignant tumor in my lung. And we just went from there and had the right lobe of my lung removed and took out the entire cancer. It was encapsulated, so it had
it's completely gone.
Completely gone.
So complete remission. There's no sign of cancer whatsoever.
No.
Well, praise God. And you were telling me that this kind of cancer, this kind of lung cancer, often isn't found until way later in the process of the development.
This type of cancer they described it to me as a sneaky cancer. It doesn't usually show itself until usually about the 4th stage, and we caught it in stage 1.
Oh my
So
goodness.
by the time it was I think a 1.3 millimeter cancer, and by the time they took it out, it had grown to a 1.6. So I mean, it was growing. It was
growing.
there. But the cough had nothing to do with my cancer at all. The cough was actually reflux.
Oh, acid reflux, that kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was dealing with that too,
It's
so
awful.
I understand. It is terrible.
It's terrible.
It is terrible. So literally the cough is what showed them that you had this.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Had it not been for that, I would not, I don't even know if I know now that I had lung cancer. Never smoked. No one in my family has ever smoked.
Wow.
So it's strange.
Yeah. But what a blessing that you found it.
Total blessing. It was God's hands were in it throughout the whole thing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Well, so what would you say to somebody that, let's say, was experiencing some symptoms, some basic symptoms, and was really reluctant to go to the doctor? Because you said that you didn't like to go to doctors.
Mm-hmm.
What would you maybe say to somebody that was experiencing that same kind of a scenario?
I would trust your gut, because at some point it got to me, something's just not right. There's no reason I should be coughing like this on a regular basis. Something just isn't right. So I finally gave in to my gut and went in and saw the doctor.
And you saw the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
That is fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, so back to salsa.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how would somebody contact you to get your salsa?
I have a Facebook page called the Coronado Salsa Chick, and they can find me there. They can message me and request me to make some. I typically, deliveries I make locally in Coronado. Those that are ordering it from the church, I bring it on Wednesdays or Sundays and pass it out.
That's true.
For choir.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, there's something else that I'm really impressed with, and ladies and gentlemen, you don't know this. You donate proceeds from your salsa sales to a special organization. Tell me about that.
I donate 15% off the top. There is an organization back home in Georgia called Cobb Street Ministry. The lady and her husband, when I was a child, started this to get homeless families off the streets. They provide clothing, they provide food, shelter. She helps get jobs. She takes them to church. They have Bible studies regularly, people coming in and doing Bible studies at the facility. She is privately funded, so there's no state help whatsoever. And we're friends on Facebook, and oftentimes I see that they need help paying the bills or they need help with repairs, and I thought, I've been blessed with being able to make this and it taking off as much as it has, so why not give back?
Absolutely.
You know, to have a blessing, you need to be a blessing, so I try to pay it forward.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Jennifer, this has been a wonderful conversation.
I love
It's
it.
just so nice to be able to talk to you. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Coronado Salsa Chick Salsa. Wonderful. Has benefits. It goes to helping the homeless. There's a lot of wonderful things. Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our interview of Fred Talk in the Spotlight. Again, my name is Fred DeBerg, and don't forget, don't let the arts die in San Diego. God bless everybody.